Well, welcome to the Just Jim Radio Show. Grateful to be here as we've moved into 2021, getting a taste of how it's going to be this year. Interesting to see how things evolve and things change. There's certainly some changes happening. I'm actually going to be doing some changing myself and the show. So Just Jim will still be around, just not the name of the show. We're gonna shift into 2021 as we move into February as Spirit of Life. The change of name came about as a result of really wanting to connect with you from where I'm coming from. I debated over whether it was Spirit in Life and Spirit of Life, but I got to tell you, I just feel really good about sharing on this show the Spirit of Life. And I want it to be about who I am, not just what I say or what I've done or what I think or information that might be helpful. And so this is a title of a show for me moving forward that's really going to speak as me, as my heart and as my soul. I have areas in my own life. I've been doing 40 years. I've been helping people find their purpose and their direction in life. I've been helping them discover their own connection to spirit within themselves or to God, to source, to all the different aspects of inspiration that each of us have, no matter what religion or philosophy we are. And so spirit is like who we are, and life, we're all living it together. So these are two of the most powerful things I connect with and relate to. And that's why I wanted to make it be the Spirit of Life for my show. And the other piece of the puzzle is that my purpose, if I'm going to be of service in the world, is to be able to help people, as many people as I possibly can in the world, access their connection to their spirit. That's their inner presence, their inner knowing, their inner strength, their inner courage, that part of them that chooses each moment whatever you're going to do or however you're going to be. So your spirit is that part of you within. And then spirit is a term that can be used to represent whatever it is you believe in, trust in, call on, look to for guidance, direction, provision, protection. It's going to be different for everybody, for every one of you. I know for me, I'm really comfortable with the term spirit. And so it's a universal term that I'm looking to help people discover and identify with and define for themselves and incorporate into their lives. Because when you connect with spirit, your own spirit, or to source, all that is, the universe, God, that's when we're able to tap into something beyond ourselves, and then draw it in and become it in our lives as an expression in the circumstances and situations that we're dealing with. Oh my God, are we dealing with circumstances and situations? It seems like they keep adding up instead of going away. That gives us a chance to connect with our spirit, connect with spirit, and bring that into our lives to make a difference. And keep in mind that the Spirit of Life is universal, and it's not individual. Or actually, it is individual and universal at the same time. We each have our own view, our own expression, our own way of seeing it and being it. And then we are together the spirit of this planet Earth that we live on, the spirit of our society. You can look at it at different levels in different ways. But the most important thing is what you believe, how you see it, and how you can feel and know within you your truth. I'm here, of course, not to tell anybody what your spirit is or how you should connect with it and how it should be in your personal life, but I am here to share with you my experience of it. And I have to say that in my daily meditations or quiet time or allowing myself to read or watch videos or listen to podcasts or radio shows like this, it inspires me. Inspiration is really a key piece to Spirit of Life because we are constantly inspired by different things in life. And if you look at the word inspiration, it's, if you take it apart, it's allowing spirit in. It's the process of allowing spirit in. Inspiration is that process that we're constantly in. I will frequently spend a little bit of time in the morning. I've got a comfortable set of chairs and a little fire pit table I've been able to light lately because of the weather in my area, and enjoy a cup of coffee and look out at the backyard and the plants and the birds and the squirrels and everything that's going on out there, and connect with nature. Nature is a wonderful inspiration for me. It reminds me of life and its unfolding and continuous cycles that are going on. And when I see the leaves fall this time of year, or I see the plants even bloom in the coolness of the weather we're experiencing, or the different cycles that I see going on out there, I'm able to feel that I'm a part of that, part of the cycles of life, the inspiration that continues to play a role in how things unfold and choose to be. Keep in mind that we're also joined together as spirit, expressing ourselves in our individual lives and unified together. And so it's interesting with all the differences that are going on in the world or in life. The other part of our title that we're changing our show to is that we each see things very, very differently. And if you were to look at the billions of people and the categories of religions and philosophies and beliefs that they have, you would say, gosh, we're separated in the sense that we see things very differently. I remember hearing a lecture from someone who had attended a worldwide religious leaders conference. And there were, of course, talks and presentations that occurred. And his goal during this conference was to write down all the words that he could find, or all the concepts he could find that were different between each of these religions and philosophies. And he was fascinated by the fact that when he listened carefully, there were far fewer words that were different or concepts that were different. And that most of what all of them were saying in different words or different perspectives or different understandings or different focuses was the same. So just like whatever's going on in our world right now, we may have different political views, we may have different society views, we may have different ways that we see our own individual lives. Sort of behind and underneath it all, our spirits are joined together as one. We are one. We are the world. So no matter what we believe with our minds or even our hearts and souls, that light that we are, that vibration that is the very core of who we really are, that is our spirit. And that is the same in all of us, no matter how we describe it. And it's important. It's important to have our individual views and our individual philosophies and focuses, things that we can follow and things that we can share. It's part of who we are. And yet, just as important for us as society, as a country, as a world, to recognize that our spirits are joined as one in this expression of life that we're walking through together. So if we look at how spirit can make a difference in life, the key to it is to recognize that anytime that you turn within, call it intuition, call it your gut, call it a hunch, anytime you look within and you listen to whatever's going on, I frequently will say a term, 3 words that I learned in defensive driving many years ago, giving away my age here, where they would tell you when you came to a railroad crossing that didn't have a gate, these many rural areas didn't have gates, you would stop, you would look to see if a train was coming, and you would listen, because the train would always blow the whistle as it came to a crossover point where there was a road. So stop, look, and listen is a way to turn within to connect with and experience your own spirit, your own inner knowing, your own intuition, your own truth within, without relating it to anything other than what you know is true for you and what matters to you. And recognize that your light shining bright from within, the essence of who you are as a soul, is the same as everybody around you. And it's almost like wearing different clothing, garments, different ways of how we decide to share that or describe that or live like that. And yes, I have to admit that there are religions and philosophies that would exclude others. And that's perfectly fine, because all that is an opportunity for people to walk a different path. It's just important to recognize that the difference that we can make is not about convincing others of how we think it should be, but looking at how our philosophies, like in this conference that this gentleman went to, finding that most of what was being said was the same, and how little the difference was. And all of these world leaders of all these different religions were so similar in the point that they were trying to make. Well, think about it, actually. If you think about, what do you want out of life? You know, if we're talking about spirit of life, what do you want out of life? You want fulfillment. You want freedom. You want peace. You want joy. You want to experience love. You want to have a fulfilling life, but you also want it to be able to bring fulfillment to you on a deeper level. You want to be able to experience your heart and soul feeling like it's dancing to the song of life, and enjoying it and experiencing it. And it's our spirit that is the catalyst for all of our thoughts, our feelings, our choices, our actions. It's what's behind it all. If you stop for a minute and realize that we are constantly reflecting from within us, our inner knowing, into these thoughts we're having, these feelings we're having, these choices we're making, these decisions and these actions we're taking. It's our mind, our body having and our emotions having an opportunity to express our spirit out into the world. And that's really what life is all about. We can describe it in a lot of different ways. Another way you can look at it is, you can look at your spirit being the observer of you participating in your life. Meaning that if you take the time in any moment, anywhere, anytime, okay, not while you're driving or doing something that you've got to focus your attention on. I'm talking about when you're in a place in a way where you can just like stop for a minute, take a big deep breath in and release, and take another look at whatever's going on around you, within you, and just kind of move into that space within you, that quiet place within you for a moment. Call it whatever you want. Move into your heart, move into your spirit, move into your soul, but move into that place where you, instead of reacting to life and just continuing to do the same thing you always do, that merry-go-round we've all created of life that we're living, that we stop for a minute and take a look at what's going on. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? What are we doing? And why? And then from that place, that momentary lapse of reason that Pink Floyd says in their music, you can stop and listen to the whisper within of your own intuition and look at life again. Because we're really wanting to experience our spirit of life in every moment. We're wanting to have that expanded, illuminated, enjoyable, free, beautiful, brilliant expression. That's who we are. That's our nature. And as long